The Flower Communion Story. This story is adapted from Teresa and David Schwartz with additions from Wikipedia. Norbert Čapek was born on June 3rd, 1870, into a Roman Catholic family in Bohemia. As a boy, he wanted to join the priesthood. However, he soon became disillusioned with the church. At 18, he apprenticed to his uncle, who was a successful tailor in Vienna. And during this time, Norbert discovered the Baptist and became a minister. He founded almost a dozen churches from Ukraine to Budapest. Yet, slowly, his faith became more and more liberal. He left Bohemia under government threat and accepted a call to serve a Baptist church in New York City. But in 1919, he wrote in his diary, "I cannot be a Baptist anymore, even in compromise. The fire of new desires, new worlds is burning inside me." Norbert and his wife, Maya Čapek, found and joined a Unitarian church in New Jersey in 1921. This faith fit them.
Once World War I ended and the Čapek's home country became independent, Norbert and Maja chose to return home to Czechoslovakia. There they founded a Unitarian church called the Prague Liberal Religious Fellowship, and it began to thrive. To lead this church, however, required some creative rethinking of what he had been taught as a minister. For instance, the traditional Christian community service of bread and wine wouldn't meet the needs of his congregation because his church, like ours, had people who believed different things. To find a ritual that would fit his congregation, Čapek turned to the beauty of the countryside, to the beauty of flowers. In 1923, he developed what he called the flower ceremony. He asked his congregants to bring a flower to church from their gardens, the field, or the roadside. He invited each person to place their flower in a vase. There, in the vase, he pointed out, was a symbol of the church community, no person giving up what made them unique, but together, beautiful and rich. Following the service, Čapek would this time invite each person to take a flower with them, taking, he hoped, a different one than they had brought.
In that second ritual was a reminder of something else, how community and life together changes us, how we bring our gifts and talents, our commitments to this community or any other, and then we're blessed and enriched by others and what they bring. We offer one thing, we take away another. All of it gorgeous, all of it life-giving. Čapek was a visionary minister with a church that was ahead of its time, a bold church that took risks and made tough decisions and bore disappointments, all in an effort to build a new way together. First, they built a church, and then that was going to be a church that would build the world. In 1942, the Gestapo arrested Norman Čapek. The Nazis drummed up a somewhat flimsy excuse and accused him of listening to foreign broadcasts, which he probably did, and sent him to the Dachau concentration camp. Despite all that he faced in the camp, Čapek, we are told, held a flower ceremony with his fellow prisoners, each finding whatever flower or bloom they could among the weeds of the camp, testifying even then to a larger beauty in the world, something larger and more beautiful than themselves, and also to their unity, to their commitment to a life together, to be free to be themselves, better and more extraordinary for that freedom and diversity. Even in the face of all that was bent on destroying them, they testified in ritual to this. Ultimately, the Nazis killed Norman Čapek. However, his wife, Maya, brought the flower ceremony to the United States, to the Unitarian Church in Cambridge, Massachusetts in 1940. Now, many churches end the year with it. It stands as a reminder of who we are as a liberal religious community.
What we are doing together this morning is both a reminder of our history and the legacy of courage and commitment we inherit. But it's also an affirmation of how we exist in a community of values, of devotion to the power and beauty of congregational life, and community that has enabled and emboldened generations of struggle for ever-widening liberty. This flower ceremony, which it's the 100th anniversary of, lovely though it is, isn't a diversion from ugly reality, even those around us now, but speaks to a gentle fierceness which proclaims that in the midst of sinister days, there is always, always a power and a beauty we can acclaim and affirm, and we find part of that power and beauty here, in what we are and what we make and what we stand for together. Today, we celebrate this ritual of solemnity and joy.
As Chapek asked his people to bring a flower to the ceremony and see what they make of their individual gifts, we did this morning. As Chapek asked his people to take another as they leave, a reminder of how community changes us, what it gives us, and what we carry forward from it, so will we. During the music that is sung by our choir, particularly those who are going to leave right after service, we invite you to come and take a flower that you will take with you today. For those who are staying for the lunch and the annual meeting, we want you to know we'll put the bouquets out in the gallery, so as you leave the meeting today, you can take one with you. And perhaps you can use the time to think of one way you may have been deepened this year, one gift, one moment, one friendship, one question that won't leave you alone, that you take with you.